and welcome back to yet another episode of Absurd Arguments, where we take arguments that are absurd and wait, no, that's not good. We argue about absurd things that I'm. It's one of those days. Nathan, how are you
No,
doing?
I,
This is.
I think you had it about right. I think, we take absurd arguments and we argue about them,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, it's yet another day. It's actually a pretty lazy day for both of us. Not a whole lot's going on today, and so I'm a little sluggish. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you sound sluggish, very, very slug-like, like you belong in a garden, spreading your slime on the rocks.
Oh, don't ever say "spread your slime" to me again.
Well, stop spreading your slime on the
Stop
rocks,
talking about that. Anyways,
and
gross,
I won't have to bring it
gross.
up.
Yeah, you don't
No,
have to say questionable things like that.
you literally said you felt sluggish.
Yeah, that's it. That's a common thing people say when they're like, oh, I'm dragging today. That's another one. Dragging, not
What, a
dragging.
dragon?
Oh
No.
gosh.
See, you're no
As soon
fun.
as
You
I
didn't let
said
me
that, I
make my
knew you would
joke.
hop on it.
You're like, dragon. I'm
I'm
dragging today.
dragging.
I'm a slug. I think, you know what? I think that's what we should do. We should go around and tell people what animal we feel like that day.
Except
Like, I,
one of the things I said is an insect, and the other one is a fictional creature.
hey, if you look at the flag of the country of Wales, there is a
Oh
red dragon
gosh.
on it. And I do not think they would put a fictional animal on a flag. Who would do
Well,
that? It has to
look
be
at
real.
California. They have a bear on that flag. Have you ever seen a bear in California?
Okay, well, look, I've never been to California, so I can't confirm they
Yeah. Well,
exist
you've
in
also
California.
never been to Wales, and so you don't know if there are dragons in Wales either.
You, I have read the lore, the
Oh yeah.
folklore that is.
What, the
Like,
Canterbury Tales?
shut up. No, not the Canterbury Tales. That's a good one too, but not that one. No, in this one, like, how Wales was founded?
No.
Okay, you're gonna learn. You could have said no a lot faster. Okay,
Sorry, I was taking a swig of my water.
okay. Apparently, there's like this city in Wales, and so
Really?
this king, yeah, shush, and this king was like, I'm gonna build this city on this hill, and so he builds this city, but it keeps burning down and getting destroyed. And he's like, what in the world's going on? So he calls a wizard, I think Merlin, and he's like, what the heck is going
Gerald.
on? Hey, Gerald. Hey, could you take a break from turning people into toads for like 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes and investigate what's going on with my city burning down? So Gerald comes by and he checks out the city and he's like, dude, you built this city over a dragon. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you built the city over a dragon. We need to unearth it. So they unearth the city. They dig up everything, and I'm trying to remember. I need to remember this correctly. They find two dragons in a cavern, and then they
Oh my
just start
gosh, Gerald
fighting.
lied.
Well, or maybe I am misremembering. But anyway, they find two dragons fighting, and one of them is a red dragon. And that's the one that's on the Wales flag. And the red dragon won, and he beat the white dragon. And
Oh
and so
man.
they named their
It's
country
very
after that
opposite of
dragon.
the yeah, it's very opposite of American lore.
Yeah.
The white dragon definitely beat the red dragon.
Heck yeah, brother. Hey, that Cold War wasn't very cold when we were done with it,
Oh my gosh. It's nuclear hot, man.
Hey, Heck yeah. But but yeah, so don't come at me. I know the lore of Wales.
Mm,
Do you think we have any cool like American lore? Like we found like a bald eagle. Like what if we just make up one and say that we found it from our
make
ancestors?
up make up lore.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody will know. I mean, except for our listeners who won't tattle on us, right?
so you're pretty much telling us to fabricate an
Uh-huh.
elaborate legend of how
Yes.
America was actually founded.
Yeah. I think it'll be a fun little game for us to play right now. Here's what we'll do. I'll say a sentence, then you say a sentence, and we create the lore ourselves. Okay? Are you ready?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll let you start. I've got to cook up some ideas to see what we're gonna do.
Okay. Once upon a time, this was in Give Me. Matthew, you should not have let me start. Okay. Once upon a time, the sentence. That's the sentence. Period. Right after
that
that.
Once upon a time. Period.
Once upon a time.
Mm,
Yeah. Okay, fine. Once upon a
that
time,
is not okay.
There was a country called America, and it was
Oh, so
located
the
in the
so
North American continent.
so the country was already founded. I thought we were making new lore about how the country was founded.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They'll need to know. Like they'll know. They'll understand.
Okay, so I'll start it off. I'll start it off.
Okay,
This is
you
what we'll
start
do.
it off. Okay.
Okay. There once was a man named Tom Williard who was walking through the boggy swamp of current southern United States.
I thought you were going to say New Jersey.
I mean, Jersey is like just a city, is the city form of a swamp, but
Yeah. Anyway, continue. Okay, I'm sorry.
no, that
Oh,
was a
do I have the
sentence.
next part? Okay.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Um.
So Tom Williard is walking through the
Okay.
boggy swamp of current day southern United States.
Okay. If I don't like the name Tom Williard, can I be like, no, wait, actually, his name wasn't Tom Williard. It was Bill Washington.
Sure,
Can I
go
say
ahead.
that is my next sentence? Okay.
Yeah, you
Oh, I'm
can.
sorry. Okay. Actually, I'm sorry. I forgot. His name wasn't Tom Williard. It was Bill uh, Washington.
And then Bill Washington remembered his name was Craig Smith, and Craig Smith woke up one morning under the 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 sun coming up over the horizon and thought to himself, "What?
Oh,
It's you. It's
that's
you.
a
Yeah,
call.
yeah,
That's a come on. That's
yeah."
a Colin there. Colin right there. Colin. Colin.
Colin?
Um.
What are you gonna do? Drain your vegetables in your Colin?
Okay. All right. He woke up and he said, that Johnny Appleseed ain't got nothing on me. I'm gonna make the best lore story of all time.
Hmm.
Me, Craig Smith, also known as Tom Williams, also known as Bill Washington.
Yes.
Okay, that's my sentence.
Okay. After he went about gathering his materials for the meal he was going to eat later that day, Jimmy Southern came up and said to Craig Smith, "Hey, Craig Smith, also known as Bill Washington, also known as Tom Williard, why do you have so many names?"
He goes, why does America have so many states and different biomes and uniqueness? He said to Jimmy Page.
And then Jimmy asked, "What are you talking about?"
Look, look here, Jimmy. Thing is, America the beautiful, America the great, it's a really amazing, beautiful place. And right now, I'm about to make the best lore story of all time. You'll hear me. You'll hear my name. You'll hear tales of Craig Smith, Bill Washington, and Todd Williard. Um, Tom, sorry, and any lore that mentions those three names, you'll know it's me, and that I am One of the best lore stories of America. Johnny Appleseed ain't got nothing on me. That'll be our common thread. He'll say that a lot.
Man.
Okay,
And then he
next.
died.
No! We can't skip it. Oh, I had, Matthew, I had a whole plot line prepared where he meets a bald eagle and befriends it. You know, he gets in a battle with the
Well,
bears from
that was a
California.
thing though. Jimmy,
Page.
what was his last name?
It
Page.
wasn't Page, but I've been saying Page.
Okay, Jimmy Page, friend of Buffett's,
Mm-hmm.
was the one who actually went on this, that adventure. But we were instead talking about Craig Smith, aka Bill Washington, aka Tom Williard.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Wait, so Jimmy Page died?
No, Craig Smith, aka Bill Washington, aka Tom Williard, died, and Jimmy
Oh, okay.
Page, friend of Buffett's, was going to take his place.
Ah, okay. So we can sort of
Yeah.
continue. He
Yes.
goes, so now the tagline instead will be like Johnny Appleseed, Craig Smith, aka Bill Washington, aka Tom Williard, has nothing on me. And I'm gonna go be friends with the bald eagle, and I'm gonna lead them in a war against the bears of California, and
Mm.
that's what they do.
Mm. Yeah.
And the war, I think I'll just finish the story from here.
Okay.
At the end, no, the war lasted for 25
We're
years,
done.
and and there was a lot of cool mythical stuff that happened as well. We can all flesh that out later on our own time, honestly.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I say keep people guessing.
So here's what we'll do. We'll use this as a, anytime we can't think of an intro, we'll always come back to the legend of Jimmy Page, friend of Buffett's, and the legacy that was left by Craig Smith, aka Bill Washington, aka Tom Williard. I think that'll be really
Okay,
good, and it'll never be confusing.
hey, hey, stop trying to reveal to people we didn't have an intro and we just spent 10 minutes talking about American lore. Okay,
Hey,
don't
I mean,
let the audience know.
look. Here's the thing. The history books, they tell you the side that won. They don't tell you
Yeah.
the incredible story of Jimmy Page, friend of Buffett's.
Uh-huh. Well, I
And
still think,
that's what we're here for.
but see, and we can't underestimate the inspiration he felt from Craig Smith, aka Bill Washington, aka Tom Williard. So,
Very true, very true.
yeah. Um so we're an arguing podcast, right?
I think so. At this point, we've become a conglomerate of things to where there has been very little arguing the past couple episodes, honestly.
Yeah. We haven't I don't think we've even shouted once at each other. Maybe you have. You're a
No,
shouter.
you clearly shouted
Um
at me when I could not hear you because I was too busy talking about Tab Ramos in the last
oh, I do
episode.
remember that. Gosh,
Yes, so
Tab.
you were
Ugh.
shouting at me, but
That
I was not. Good old
Who would
Tab.
have thought? Who would have imagined? What are the odds of me hating two different things named Tab? So now I know what people are thinking. Well, clearly, this episode must be about lore, American lore. No, it is not. We are focused on breakfast this week. We're
Yes.
going to be, yeah, we're going to tackle such great arguments like, um, which is better? Wait, no, let's not spoil it. We're going to tackle three main arguments. Um,
Yes.
like for example, here's a rejected one. Which is better for breakfast time, bagels or toast?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, that could have been an argument we do, but we're not doing that one.
No, we are
Probably.
not because
Yeah.
four seems to be an hour and a half worth of stuff, and I already spend too much time uh, editing down just an hour of things, and so three is our magic number, the rule of threes, and
Right.
all things Legend of Zelda and recording podcasts.
Absolutely. So yeah, so thank you, Matthew, for editing. Because if you didn't do it, I'd have to actually work at something with this podcast, and I would hate that.
Yeah,
No, I'm
because
kidding.
we already know that you do so well of researching ahead of time.
Hey,
It
now.
has been well documented.
Look, the hours I spent watching Buzkashi matches for last episode we had, is just amazing. But speaking of research, this week's research will be brought to us by Matthew, looking at books or something like
Mm,
that, and then I had free reign to look at or dream or envision whatever I wanted to. And right now, our budget is just not at the place where I can just like fly to Oxford, the British one, not the Alabama one, like fly to Oxford and ask experts for advice. So
mm,
I had to turn to the internet.
yes. Well, I guess I cheated. I don't know. Um, I have this subscription to a service where I can look at books online, and that's what I used because I was like, I either go to a library or a bookstore and look like a weirdo just reading a bunch of cookbooks, and I was like,
Yeah,
there has to be a better way, and so I have used a subscription-based service which I will not plug because I'm not. We don't get money. I'm tired of
right,
free advertisement.
right. Yeah.
And
Just
so
admit
I
it's
have
like a
also used
video.
the internet, but in a different way.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's cue the music.
You got to say it, in a more pomp and circumstance way. I need you to retake. Here you
Matthew.
go. Feel
The
the energy.
the energy. Matthew. Matthew, I think this would be an excellent time to cue the music.
This is the wrong energy, but we'll go with it anyways.
All right, the first question we're going to try to argue is which is better, eating scrambled eggs for breakfast or having a fried egg?
Hmm. And
Yeah,
this is just the eggs itself. It's not whether you should eat a sausage or bacon with it because there is no debate on that one. There is a clear winner.
Matthew, we
Yes.
really made a misstep here. We really should have gone over sausage and bacon. Like, you don't. Like, I mean, are we the biggest idiots in the world? Like, why didn't we? As soon as you said that, I was like, that is a way better thing to debate, right? Like, we don't have to put this part in. But I was like, this
Oh.
is stupid. I have nothing. No, I don't. No, I mean, not nothing, but it's just like, I think I would
Okay,
have
so
had way more.
this will be just argument 0.5, just on the spot, totally improv.
Yeah,
What are you gonna pick?
of sausage and bacon.
Yes.
Uh, I imagine you're going to choose bacon, so I'll choose sausage.
Mm. Now, why would you choose sausage? You already said why, but I want you to make a reason why you actually chose sausage.
Bro, them sausage links are something else. They're killer.
Mm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
They're just those, and you can like, you can like roll them around on your plate. Like, let's say you're receiving a very serious talk from a fellow henchman, you know? You work for a crime boss in this scenario. And so
Oh,
you're
okay,
like
cool.
you're rolling the sausages
Hey,
around on
I'm
your plate.
rolling here.
I'm rolling. Hey,
Yeah,
where's
I'm
the
rolling
gabagool?
here.
I specifically ordered a side of the gabagool.
Yeah.
We gave Jimmy two shoes, the old cement shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cement shoes.
Cement shoes.
Cement.
Cement shoes.
Yeah, we sure
Anyway,
did. The Reginald.
my name's Tony. Reggie. You
Sorry,
can call
Tony.
me Reggie.
Sorry, Tony.
Tony.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got to be a
Reggie's
Tony.
your dad, right? Reggie's your
Reggie.
dad.
He's my dad.
Oh, it's your dad.
It's my dad, Reggie. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's been working at the same vacuum cleaner store for 27 years.
Mm.
You know, he wanted me to suck at my job like he does, but I just couldn't do it.
Well, I'm Tony. I'm glad you don't suck at your job. I'm glad that you are
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
Johnny, what your name is Johnny? So what does your dad do?
My
You proud of
dad.
your old man?
Ah. I guess my old man doesn't do too much. He well, here's the thing. The store was like was built to the restaurant was kind of converted from like a bomb factory, and so they all their positions of their employees are like rankings in the military, and he was a commanding officer of
So a
the
manager.
janitorial service.
Oh,
Yeah, and he I mean he props to him. He held that position with honor and pride, but he was a janitor.
he was a janitor.
Yeah,
Gosh,
and I mean I guess you could say that I took up his dream because I'm a janitor, but for a different reason.
you're
If you
taking out the
if
trash in a different way. You know?
I am taking out the trash in a different way. I guess you could also call me a collections officer.
Yeah, we collections officer. We're commanding officers of collections.
Yeah. Anyways, bacon is what I would choose. That went on way too.
No, no, no. I think it went on. I personally was about to do that for voice for the rest of the episode. I'm glad you stopped
Oh,
me. Yeah,
yeah. So I choose bacon. Anyways, we got to move on to the actual thing. So,
yeah.
scrambled eggs
Scrambled.
versus fried eggs. A tale
Right.
as old as um.
Last
Oh,
week when we thought of all these questions.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's see.
And what position did you have?
Yeah, I have scrambled. I mean, no, I have fried eggs.
Yeah, I was about to say. What do you mean?
You're like, no, don't. You're stealing my position. What position do you have?
I obviously have the scrambled egg position. Now,
Okay.
I just want to point out a few things. In my readings, uh, this this quote comes from the book On Food and Cooking: The Science and Lore of the Kitchen by Harold McGee.
Ah, the
So we're
lore.
not actually yes, we're still sticking with the lore. Now, in his
Hmm.
book, um, he asks the question of which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
I'd like to read what he has to say about this. Over the centuries, there have been several clever answers to the conundrum which came first, the chicken or the egg? The church fathers sided with the chicken, pointing out that according to Genesis, God first created the creatures and not their reproductive apparatus. And the Victorian Samuel Butler awarded the egg overall priority when he said that a chicken is just an egg's way of making another egg. And so Mr. McGee here is coming out strong, giving some
Okay.
philosophical understandings. And so he lays out the question, and then he gets all the way to talking about how we can best prepare eggs. And he says scrambled eggs and omelets are made from yolks and whites mixed together, and they are therefore a good fate for fragile, runny, lower quality eggs. These dishes frequently include other ingredients. Cream, butter, milk, or oil, which is used in China, will dilute the egg's proteins and produce a tender mass when the eggs are carefully cooked. Overheating, however, will cause some of the added liquid to separate. Watery vegetables like mushrooms should be pre cooked to prevent them from weeping into the eggs. Chopped herbs, vegetables, and meat should also be warm, not hot or cold, to avoid uneven heating of the adjacent egg proteins. And so he
Hmm.
just goes straight into it. He gives you why you should, cook scrambled eggs, but also the way to go about it, and I think it's incredible, especially the fact that he said that mushrooms cry.
Oh,
Well,
they're so weak.
he says, you got to make sure the watery mushrooms or the watery vegetables like mushrooms should be pre-cooked to prevent them from weeping into the eggs.
They're the weakest of all the vegetables. Everyone
They're
knows it.
just they're just a bunch of softies, man.
Pathetic. I hate mushrooms for that reason.
Yeah.
That's why I like. See, that's why, Matthew, I like onions as my favorite veggie because they make people cry, not the other way around. They're not weeping into the pan. Onions are hardcore, dude.
Is that why you've taken after the onion and have an overly aggressive nature?
Hey, now you watch it. I don't
Hey,
have an
you came on a little
aggressive.
aggressive there, man.
Okay, look here. I'm not that. I'm not. I was about to say not that aggressive. I'm not aggressive. I'm a big
Mm.
softy.
Well, here's the thing, man. You got to make sure that if you are a softie, that you've got to use these eggs. You could use the cream, butter, milk, or water, or even oil, and it dilutes the eggs protein and produces the tender mass when the eggs are
Oh,
carefully cooked.
I don't want to eat the tender mass.
You gotta eat the freaking tender mass. It's what makes
Oh no!
it's what makes the scrambled egg so good. Is
I don't.
because it
Tender,
it
tender
doesn't
mass again. I don't want it.
look, man. It's just how it is.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have eaten the tender mass.
Okay, I finally caught on to what that actually meant.
Don't want to eat the tender mass, Matthew.
Dang, the whole service. Gosh. Anyways, that's what Mr. McGee has to say about scrambled eggs.
Well,
Um, I
you
have
know,
another cookbook, but I would like to know what some of your research came up with.
I didn't find a lot. uh, let's see. Uh, the thing is, Matthew, researching this was boring me to tears because everyone boils it down to what's the healthiest egg to eat? Is it healthier to
Oh
eat
my gosh, you're
scrambled? Is
absolutely
it health?
right.
And it was just like, come on. And so finally, I found a website that called Eat This, maybe Eat This, not that, and they said the best and worst ways to cook eggs ranked. Okay, and they would give
Mm.
a score to each of them. Okay, so um, what do you think the worst score was?
Was it scrambled eggs?
No, um,
Oh,
it is the complete opposite of scrambled eggs. It's raw eggs.
that was gonna be my second guess. I was like, what do you do? Just pick up an egg from the store and just hope straight
Now,
down.
to be fair, the criteria they judged it on, they were judging on the amount of protein, the excessive
Mm-hmm.
calories,
Mm-hmm.
availability of micronutrients. So there's all sorts
Mm.
of. Did you know there's vitamins in eggs, dude? I had no clue. But
I didn't care.
me neither. And then they give pros and cons, and they give a score value to each one. Okay, and so
Mm.
raw eggs get a 0 out of 5, understandably.
All right.
But so I'll tell you, I'll tell you the final verdict for fried eggs, and then I'll tell you
Yes.
the verdict for um, scrambled eggs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. So um, the pros for a fried egg is you eat the entire egg, yolk and whites. Okay.
Oh.
Now here's the con. All right. I'm going to read this to you,
Mm.
and we'll compare the cons to which sounds worse. Okay.
Okay.
So, when frying yolks, a journal of agricultural food chemistry found that you could lose as much as 18% of an egg's levels of xanthophylls. That's a class
Oh,
of
my xanthophylls.
the xanthophylls. There's 18% less of xanthophylls in here. And that's a class
Gosh,
of.
if I get a dog, I'm gonna name him Xanthophil.
Oh man, that's a great name. Uh, It's a
Call
class of
call him Xanther as a nickname, so everybody's like, "Dude, that's a freaking cool name. What you name him after?" One of the vitamins in an egg is xanthophyll.
this is how they explain what xanthophyll is. So hopefully this will clear things up and help you understand what it
Yes.
is. It is a
Okay.
class of carotenoids that pass
Mm.
along their free radical scavenging abilities.
Man, those free radicals.
The the scavenging abilities, oh no, I lost them.
Gosh.
Okay, so here's the pros and cons of scrambled eggs. All right.
All right.
Pro, if you add a touch of water, the added
Mm.
liquid helps to create steam, which makes the eggs lighter and fluffier. You're
Oh.
eating both the egg yolk and the white.
Mm-hmm.
The fast cooking time means less of a chance of damaging the heat sensitive nutrients. But
Mm.
now this one's way longer than mine. Okay. Cons. Scrambling eggs often means overcooked eggs. And when eggs cook, the proteins in the eggs form tight bonds, and as they pull closer and closer to each other and become too hot, they begin to squeeze liquid out from the curds.
See, that's exactly what Mr. McGee was talking about. That if you overcook them, then the oil and the water and the things the liquids you put in, it begins to separate. And so, yeah, that tracks with what Mr. McGee was also saying.
Yeah, and if that happens with the water coming out of your scrambled eggs on your plate, you're getting rid of vitamin B12. That's the 12th
Ah,
B, dude.
I think I have pretty good uh, um a good number of vitamin B1 through 11, but I guess I keep overcooking my scrambled eggs. I need to get more
Yeah.
of that B12.
If you have a deficiency of that, dude, it can cause inflammation and health issues. Yeah.
Crap, I really need to get more vitamin B12.
So comparing, I mean, let's just look at this objectively, you and me,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
On the one hand, if I make my over hard fried eggs, okay? My fried
Yep.
eggs, I lose out on some xanthophylls, okay?
Oh,
But if
it's a
I
tragedy.
cook scrambled eggs, then I squeeze out the liquid if they're
Mm.
overcooked, and I could lose
Mhm.
out on some B12 vitamins.
Oh man.
I now Matthew, I'm doing this unbiased, I promise. I know
Uh-huh.
what B12 vitamins are. I don't know what
Mhm.
xanthophylls are. I would rather lose xanthophylls than B12 vitamins, so I think fried eggs are better, healthier even.
Well, let me tell you. Betty Crocker has something to say about that.
Wait, I didn't even give you the final verdict.
What is Oh gosh. Well,
You want to know the
all
final
right, what's the
score between the two?
Yeah, I'll know the final score and then I'll tell you why Betty Crocker says you're wrong.
They both got a 3. Stupid. Stupid. Stupid ranking. Clearly the fried eggs are better. Anyway, what does good old Betty say?
Yeah, Betty Crocker's Good and Easy Cookbook, the 1954 American classic, has something to say about this.
Yeah.
Betty Crocker writes, "How to scramble eggs. Break eggs into a bowl. Mm. Add 1 tablespoon of milk or cream, dash of salt and pepper for each egg. Beat with fork slightly for golden and white effect, or well for a uniform yellow. Heat half a tablespoon of fat for each egg in modified hot skillet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pour in mixture and reduce heat to low. Cook slowly, turning gently as the mixture sets at the bottom and the sides of the pan. Avoid constant stirring. When cooked
Mm-hmm.
thoroughly, when cooked through but still moist, 5 to 8
Mm-hmm.
minutes. Serve at once. Now let me tell you,
You literally just gave me the recipe for scrambled eggs.
absolutely. However, have you ever cooked scrambled eggs that way?
Yeah, probably yes.
I'm going to say you probably not because there's one thing in here that I know I make the mistake of whenever I cook scrambled eggs.
Uh huh.
I I do stir too much. But here's the thing.
Oh,
Betty Crocker's like, you don't gotta stir so much, man. Tone it down.
yeah.
Avoid constant stirring. And then she
Hmm.
also gives helpful hints of popular variations. And guess what? The first variation she talks about
What?
with mushrooms.
Disgusting.
She uses the weak. What is it? A vegetable, fungus, plant? It's
Yeah.
gross. But
Now,
but she does agree with Mr. McGee, or I guess Mr. McGee would agree with her that you should saute 2 tablespoons of sliced mushrooms per egg uh, in the hot fat before the scrambled eggs. And so you again you have to puree the mushrooms before. And so he agrees. You know, you cook the mushrooms before so they don't cry, and these weak things don't cry into the eggs.
all right. So here's look. I hate to be the middle of the road guy, but I did find a
Yeah,
recipe for scrambled eggs,
I'm
which is
sorry.
the best of both worlds: fried eggs and
Is it
scrambled
now?
eggs. Yeah.
Is this going to be another Arnold Palmer thing where you like
No.
tell me that we're both good, and then you're like,
No.
hey, it's actually 2/3 sweet tea and 1/3 lemonade?
No. I just kind of found it weird. I found a recipe for scrambled eggs, and
Mm,
just the phrase "frambled," the word "frambled." It just
mm.
fills my body with disgust, and I refuse to really look at it in depth. It was literally just a recipe for like scrambled eggs, but with the word "frambled" instead.
Is that it?
I have nothing to add to that monstrosity.
Well, Betty Crocker continues to where you can
Oh my
add it with
gosh!
tomatoes, and
Oh, Betty,
you
no,
can
too
you can
much.
saute 2 tablespoons of fresh cut canned tomatoes in the hot fat
Okay,
before scrambled eggs, or you can put deviled ham.
we get it.
Spread some hot buttered toast with
We
deviled
get
ham
it.
topped with scrambled eggs.
You
I've
rather
actually done
cook
that before. It's pretty good.
that we have spent longer on
Scrambled eggs are superior.
the other two arguments we have, Matthew, are 10 million times more interesting than the ways we cook our eggs. We gotta get a move on. We gotta
Can't
keep
believe this.
moving. The eggs
All right,
do
so here's
not
our
work it.
second one. Here's our second one. Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
by the way, you can also have scrambled eggs with dried beef or ham. You frizzle
Just
cut
no,
dried
we
beef
gotta keep
cooked
going,
ham
Matthew.
in the hot fat
Matthews.
before scrambled
Uh,
eggs. Our next argument has to do with the other most common thing people use as breakfast, and that is cereal.
yes. This one I'm eager for.
Yes.
So there's two theories of thought. Hmm. Two theories. One is, do you pour the cereal before you pour in the milk? Or do you pour the milk in the bowl and then add your cereal? Okay, so one side
Hmm.
is cereal first, then milk. The other side is milk first, then cereal. So which side do you have, Matthew?
So I have that you should pour your cereal first and then the milk, because
Yeah,
I think that is the orthodox and the correct way to do it.
I in my research, I've learned just so much about the milk before cereal people that I really sympathize with their plight, and so I side with them.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now, I want to go ahead and do mine first because I'll be honest, cookbooks don't really talk about cereal. And so
disgusting.
the only I found two things. I'll mention this quick one first. And it is again from the great Betty Crocker's cookbook. And the only thing that I could find in this cookbook that says, how to eat cereal is in the section called Cereal Sundays with Milk or Cream. And then it just talks about things you could use with cereal. But there's only one thing that talks about the the pattern of preparing a bowl of cereal, and it comes with chocolate milk.
Ooh,
And I'm going to use this as just the milk part and not the chocolate, unless you're having like Count Chocula. And so it's just like extra chocolate, which I think that might be a little too much, but you never know. There's probably some pregnant woman out there who's craving chocolate milk with her Count Chocula cereal. But the thing is, Betty Crocker says that you should pour the chocolate milk over the crisp corn puffs. No
okay.
sugar is needed.
Uh-huh. Well, okay, how can we trust Betty Crocker? She puts mushrooms in her scrambled eggs.
Now, I have a question for you, Mr. Nathan.
Yes.
Do you have an entire line of food prepping, like cake mixes, um, different types of, different food stuff? Do you have an entire line named after you?
Uh, I'm working on it. It will be
Oh, well,
released.
you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing a resounding no, I don't. So I think
You're hearing
the
things.
good Betty Crocker probably knows more about cooking and how to prepare food than you might.
Maybe a little bit.
Mm.
Did she have access to the entire internet like I do? I can look up a recipe right
No,
now and
this
make
book
it.
was originally published in 1954, so of
Oh,
course not.
man. Well, Matthew, I have learned a couple things in my research. The
Mm.
This debate is a heated one, okay? The people who
Yes.
pour cereal in first cannot stand the milk pourers. I say we call it. We'll use these terms. And I think I think this will be helpful. We'll call those who pour cereal first cereal killers, and then we'll call those who pour milk first. We're going to call them milk men. Yeah,
Okay.
milkmen. Okay, everyone loves a good
Hmm.
milkman, and so thing is with serial killers. Okay, whenever they hear that somebody puts the milk first, it is like they
Hmm.
go insane, you know, and they
Mm.
they want to, I don't know, persecute the milkmen. Okay, and so I
Mm.
found it is persecution, Matthew. Don't lie.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
was on the website
Sure.
Quora. And so somebody asked, why do some people pour their milk before the cereal? And so I'll start with this. One person
Hmm.
gave a scientific answer, which was very useful.
Mm.
Okay, so this person, Geneva Kingsley, they studied at generic high school and graduated in 2019, so we can trust them.
Are
Um,
you sure though?
yeah,
They've
Geneva
only they've,
says
they've only been out of high school for just a couple years.
Geneva's an expert.
Ugh.
You leave Geneva alone. Okay, they said there is when you pour the cereal first, there is a bunch of air in your bowl. It's where the holes of the Cheerios are, or wherever. And when you pour the liquid, it fills up every nook and cranny in between your cereal, which is called capillary action. If you're a science person and care, which I am,
Okay.
and so when you're pouring the milk, the cereal is also absorbing more milk, thereby making even more space for the milk outside of the cereal. And so, what it does is it makes your cereal soggy, and you let it get soggy by just pouring more milk in there. Now, if you put the milk first and then put the cereal on top, the cereal has time to float and it undergoes what is called moisture toughening. Somebody did a
Mm.
study on cereal and they dubbed this process moisture toughening, explaining that the moisture from the milk increases the amount of force the cereal can actually take before becoming soggy. And so,
Okay.
you know, it just kind of slowly, is crunchier. All right. And see, and
Okay.
with that, you can balance the ratio to cereal and milk better because if you pour the cereal first, you've always got more milk afterwards, you know? And so it's actually scientifically better that way pouring your milk first. But gosh, man, some of these other replies were heartbreaking. Okay.
Uh
Poor
huh.
Haley, she has been so conditioned to be ashamed that she has to start out with, yeah, I pour milk before cereals first. What you gonna do about it? Like they have to attack back, you know.
Mm.
Um, and her thing was sogginess. It makes it less soggy, you know.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's that's important. I mean, what do you think
So,
so far from what I've
so
revealed?
I have a question. I have a
Yeah.
question.
Uh huh.
When you wake up in the morning and you begrudgingly don't want to cook anything, and you go to grab a bowl, what do you think you're going to eat? Do you think you're going to eat a bowl of milk or a bowl of cereal?
Look, I'm gonna eat cereal.
Yeah, you're going to eat the bowl of cereal. The cereal is the main point. That's the whole thing. You don't wake up, you don't go to a fancy, coffee store, and you don't, go to them and say, "Yes, I'd like uh, a cup of sugar, and if you could pour just like a little bit of coffee in it, that would also be good too." That's not it. The coffee is the main part of it. The sugar is just there to, dilute the coffee because coffee is bitter and gross. But
See,
you take away the whole part of the bowl of cereal when you say
okay,
the most
okay.
important part is actually just the milk. If it's just the milk, just drink a cup of milk.
No, it's not the most important part. It's just about the order of operations. And scientifically, that's the best. But,
What
okay.
if I like soggy cereal?
Ah, gosh. Ah,
What
you
if I
sicken
want
me.
my fruity pebbles to all just bunch together like the proteins in an overcooked scrambled egg?
You know what I would say? I would say you sound like this guy named David, who was a lieutenant firefighter and medic. Okay?
Oh man.
When he was asked this question on Quora, he was like, why do people pour milk first? He goes, sounds like something my ex-wife would do. She loathed soggy cereal and would pour a bowl of milk and then add cereal a handful of flakes at a time. I'm the type that would pour a bowl of flakes, add the milk, set it in front of her, and then walk away. And I'd come back 5 minutes later, scoop up a big spoonful of wallpaper paste, and shovel it in my mouth just to make her gag. I did say
I
she's my ex.
I don't think that is a real person.
His name's David. Well, I won't say his
I
last name just in case he is
I
real.
I
But
don't think that's a real person
it
because
has his picture.
no one looks at a bowl of cereal and the first thing they think of is, man, that's some tasty looking wallpaper scrapings or whatever. No,
Wallpaper
that's gross.
paste.
Yeah, wallpaper paste. So, but I mean, here's the thing with cereal, it comes down to a very very special thing. You pour the bowl of cereal, and then you get the milk to match. You use the milk to give it that flavor and pull it out, and the milk is also a helpful tool to bring out that flavor and give it a little extra sweet taste. And the thing is, like, yeah, you've got milk left over, and if you want more cereal, you can just pour the cereal in there, but it's not going to be overbearing.
Yeah. The thing is, it, I just feel so bad for this section of the internet, these poor people persecuted.
Hmm.
Um, but one lady, Bonnie, she's a RN over 36 years, still working part time and traveling. Good for
Hmm.
her. Um, you know, she was like, "Why does it bother so many people that some put milk before cereal?" And Bonnie says, "Because they are regimented into doing things only one way. Their way is the only way. Ignore their
Mm.
behavior or criticism. Eat things the way you like them." I respect
Wow.
that.
Wow.
Gosh,
You know what, Bonnie? You're wrong.
Bonnie is not wrong. She is a wholesome
Bonnie is
looking
wrong.
lady. Judging from her post, she could be a potential great aunt.
Mm. So I have another book
Uh
to
huh.
go against what you've brought up.
And don't worry, I have
This
a
is
final point that'll blow this out of the water. Okay.
okay. Well, here's the thing. Famed American author Neil Gaiman.
Okay.
Is that how you say his name? Neil
No, I
Gaiman?
think it's gay, man. No, it's Guyman. You're right. I said you were right, man. I think it's
You are
Guyman.
12 years old. Oh, you are 12 years old. Um
I said it was a joke.
all right, so Neil Gaiman has written a children's book. Um, and this book is called Fortunately the Milk, and it is illustrated by Scotty Young.
Uh huh.
And this book is the story of two kids, a family, and they're trying to figure out something to eat for breakfast. And so the little boy is trying to figure out, I really want something. And so he decides to grab a box of cereal from the pantry and pour it out into his bowl. And then he goes to the fridge to look for the milk, and there is no milk.
Oh.
And so now here's the thing. The dad comes into the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And from the book, it says, "Now Dad came in. Eat your cereal," he said. "Remember, it's orchestra practice in this afternoon." "We can't eat our cereal," said my sister sadly. "I don't see why not," said my father. "We've got plenty of cereal. There's Tostios. There's
Tostitos.
what is
Yeah.
this? Not Tostitos. Tostios. There's I don't know what that is. We have bowls. We have spoons. Spoons are excellent. Spoons are like forks, only not as stabby. No milk," I said. "No milk," said my sister. I watched my dad think about it. He looked like he was going to suggest that we have something for breakfast that you don't need milk for, like sausages. Disgusting. But then he looked in like and remembered that without milk, he couldn't have his tea. And he had his no tea face. "You poor children," he said. "I will walk down to the shop, to the quarter, and I will get milk."
Oh,
"Thank you,"
no.
said my sister. "It's not fat-free kind," I told him. "That stuff tastes like water." "Right," my dad said. "Not the fat-free kind." He went out. I poured some cereal, and I stared at them. I waited. And then the book goes into a long, the long kind of journey that the father takes of being abducted by aliens, and then he goes
Oh.
to he deals with some Spanish pirates, and then he deals with other things that is not very important, because the part is the illustrations. The illustrations given in the book, they are all of the kids with their bowls of cereal. The cereal is in the bowl first and nothing else.
Right.
And
And your
so that is
dad
just how
never
it
came
is.
back. We know
Yeah.
how this
Well,
story goes.
here's the thing. His dad eventually came back and he told him all the story.
Yeah.
And this is the book picks up towards the end. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry if you wanted to read Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman, but
Uh-huh.
this is what my dad said. He said all of these absurd things. I looked at my sister and my sister looked at me. Then we both looked around the kitchen at the calendar on the wall with the hot air balloons on it, my dinosaur models, my sister's ponies, my sister's vampire books, pictures of a volcano I had painted when I was little, last year when I was still up on the wall of the fridge. We looked at all these things and looked at my dad. "You know, we don't believe any of this," said my sister. "We don't," I told him. "None of it. Especially not how you said the world from being remodeled or the pirates. Not any of it," I said. My father shrugged. "Suit yourself," he said. "But it was all true. How can I prove it?" "Yes, how?" said my little sister. "Well," said my father, putting it down on the kitchen table, "here's the milk." And he went back to reading his paper. And there's an illustration of him reading his paper. So he went on this grand adventure to get the milk to finish off the centerpiece of the bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
To now the kids can pour the milk over the cereal and create a great breakfast.
Okay, well, look, you can mention celebrities in your argument. Well, so can I, buddy. Guess what famous celebrity?
Stephen
Puts...
Hawking.
No, he's gone.
Oh,
Who puts his milk before the cereal?
Matthew Stafford.
Don't know who that is.
He's a football player.
Not a celebrity. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not a celebrity.
Not a celebrity.
I said it.
I'm going to Google your name and then I'm going to Google Matthew Stafford. And I think I'm going to know how many hits I'm going to get on Matthew Stafford. And I also know how many 0 hits I'm going to get on you.
I never claimed to be a celebrity, so.
Yes, but here's the thing.
It's
He
not
is a
about
celebrity.
me, Matthew.
Well then, who is this celebrity that pours the milk over the
This
cereal?
is famous Korean pop singer in the pop group BTS, Jungkook.
And
Young.
I officially Do not care.
Uh, Matthew, hey, this is an aside.
Mm-hmm.
We do
Mm-hmm.
not want to anger the K-pop stans. You really need to care. Okay, so get your act together. K-pop is
Look,
the
you
future.
no, it is
K-pop is
not.
the future. If
It is
anyone knows
not.
this, I won't say anything more. But if anyone knows this better than most, it would be you, right? Okay.
No. It's
Yes.
one group. One group.
Uh
That's
huh.
it. I haven't
Okay.
listened to their music in a while either.
Right. Sure. Now that I've reminded
It's
you, you're
true.
right. I should listen to their music while I'm editing this episode or something.
I am not gonna no, I have to listen to what you're saying and get all the stuff out. The times where I clear my throat or your chair squeaks.
Do
I
you know
have to
what?
pay attention to that.
So I looked up Jung. I don't know how to say his name. Jung. It's the
Mr.
future.
BTS himself.
It's the incarnation of Carl Jung. He's back. uh,
No, he's gonna teach terrible psychology to all the little fangirls.
yeah, me and a friend made a meme. We found a book at this used bookstore called The
Mhm.
Portable Jung. It was the portable book of his philosophy, his psychology, and it was a good joke for a while. And then my friend goes, "I'm going to start reading it." So he started
No.
reading it online. But
No.
yeah. But anyway, this is Jung Kook's cereal recipe. Okay,
Hmm.
that he claims is really good. Okay, it
Okay.
doesn't start like you think. You get the apple slices.
Oh, I thought it was gonna write the whole thing in Korean.
No, it was translated
That's how
English.
I thought.
Thank goodness.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were about to spit some awesome Korean that I didn't know that you knew and
Um,
wow everybody. But yeah, sure, go ahead.
Anyang, that's all I know. He gets Annyeonghaseyo. I think that's so wrong.
Oof.
Uh,
Anyways, what
he
does
gets
Mr. BTS himself have to
you
say?
get the apple slices. You pour in the milk. Let the apple slices soak a little bit, and then you pour in the cereal. And he said that's the most delicious thing ever.
Now, no, 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 no.
Yeah,
What did he put in the bowl first?
the apple slices.
Exactly.
Those need to soak, but the cereal doesn't.
Yeah, but the point is, the milk doesn't go first. He's a
Imagine
liar.
the milk does it. Our thing was which comes first, the cereal or the milk. We never talked about apple slices. That was off the table.
Yeah, because we didn't think about it, just like we didn't think about arguing about bacon or sausage.
Look, let the young singing Carl Jung make his weird breakfast cereal concoction in peace.
Okay, fine. So we're almost out of time here, so we need to move on to our last one.
Right,
And this one is simply pancakes or waffles.
bro. I'm winning this so easily.
All right. Well, if you're winning it, I'll let you go first.
With waffles, okay. I'm just gonna list off a thing. Um, let's see. Mitch Hedberg had the joke. Waffles are just pancakes with syrup traps. They're the better
Mm.
pancake. Okay, they have their syrup traps or whatever. Um, let's see. Oh, the number one breakfast place in America? You might say International House of Pancakes. You might say Denny's. No, it's Waffle House. So thank you. What's one of the best combos from Georgia, state I come from? Chicken and waffles. That's a classic. Nobody says, give me some of that chicken and pancakes. That doesn't roll off the tongue. Steak and pancakes does, though. Anyway, waffles,
Steak and
waffles,
cakes.
steak and cakes. Oh, dang. Write that down. Write that down. So waffles are just superior. Also, if you want some crunch, you can get some crunch with that. And
Crunch.
and Matthew, you're from Texas. You should love
Mm-hmm.
this. If you go to a hotel in Texas, what do most of these hotels have? They have a
Uh,
waffle. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say mold, but yeah, that works too.
You. No, they have a waffle maker in the shape of the state of Texas. you can get Texas shaped
Okay.
waffles.
Yes, that is very true. That is very true, and they are
So
absolutely wonderful.
yeah, I really doubt that you can find a way to disprove that waffles are the best.
No, I think I can actually. I say that overconfidently because I actually don't know what I'm going to say next. But
Hmm.
you know who does know is Mr. Howard McGee. I think his first name was
Howard.
Howard. Yes, and he says griddle cakes, which is just pancakes. Griddle cakes are
Griddle.
made from more floury, viscous batter than crepes or crepes. Is what your favorite thing is because it defines who you are pretty well. Um,
Creeps,
and
you mean?
it can retain gas cells for a few minutes that it takes to cook them. So they rise on the pan surface and develop an aerated, tender structure. Pancakes may also be leavened and flavored with yeast or with whipped egg whites folded in the batter, or chemical leavening, or some combination of these. Russian Bellini sometimes include beer, which may contribute to the what is this word?
Vodka.
Eff, effer,
Effervescent.
yeah, effervescence.
Yeah.
What does that word mean?
Bro, look, just look it up after the show. Well, I assume
Okay,
our audience is smart enough to know what effervescence means.
fair
But
enough.
I say, no, no, Mike, no. we we just don't have time to just
Okay.
keep talking while one of us is typing in the word effervescence
Yeah. Well, the
definition,
batter
and
is
then
poured onto the griddle and allowed to cook until the bubbles begin to rise and
oh,
break the
bro,
upper surface.
dude, effervescence means just bubbles in a liquid, huh? That's a noun.
Dang it! I've I've been foiled again by vocabulary words I don't know. Anyways, pancakes are good. Betty Crocker also gives a few different recipes for lightning quick pancakes of good old fashioned goodness.
Uh-huh.
Here's the first line in the lightning quick pancake recipe. Just follow the directions on the Bisquick package.
Darn it, Betty. You had one job. Come on.
But then you try these blueberry pancakes. Fold 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 cup drained fresh, frozen, or canned blueberries gently into the Bisquick pancake batter. Bake, serve with honey or confectioner's sugar. What are all
Uh-huh.
these? This is a cookbook. Why don't I know these words?
Dude, confectioner's sugar is just
Next is nut pancakes.
no thank you. Um,
You've got nut pancakes.
I said
Mix
no thank you.
3/4 cup of finely chopped toasted pecans, peanuts, or walnuts, or any of your
Oh.
favorite nuts into your Bisquick pancake batter. Bake, serve with syrup. You could also have cornmeal pancakes. Use 1/2
Oh.
cup cornmeal in place of 1/2 of the Bisquick. Bake, serve with syrup or jelly, frizzled ham or bacon, with grilled sausage and apple rings.
Delicious.
Yes. And then she talks about puff pancakes. And then she goes into silver dollar pancakes. And there's so many ways
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
to
Go back
make
to that last
good
one.
pancakes.
I
Silver
can make
dollar
me some
pancakes?
money pancakes?
Here's the thing, you add a little more milk than usual to the Bisquick pancake batter. You spoon the thin batter in the tablespoon at a time and fill your griddle
Hmm.
with tiny, tasty pancakes. And so they're just itty bitty pancakes. But you just use more milk.
Did we just find out that like Betty Crocker worked for Big Biscuit or something?
Dude, freaking Big Bisquick is getting under my skin.
Big
I just
Pharma,
can't.
Big
I can't.
Bisquick.
I can't turn the page because it's just there's Bisquick everywhere. I can't. If I turn the page, it's there again.
She's like, you know what would go great with this turkey roast? Bisquick gravy, or
Well,
man,
you can do what the Russians do and just throw some beer in it.
what I like to put in my meatloaf is some Bisquick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, Betty Crocker. Uh-huh.
Pancakes are also fun to cook. You don't just throw them in a waffle iron and then wait. You
Oh, dude,
see the
that's the best
bubbles
part.
rise. You see them effervescence. I
You
learned a new
see
word
the
today.
effervescence.
You see it. And then you know
Ah,
this is the time to flip it. With the waffle maker, you pour the batter in the waffle maker. You close the waffle maker. And then you sit and wait. And it's boring. It's boring.
yeah, no, that's like ease. Like, okay, cool. There's 5 minutes I can spend watching TikToks or something, you know?
Gross.
Like,
No, but the thing with pancakes is you can make a pancake as big or, as we've seen, as small as you want. With a waffle, you just get a one size fits all thing. And I might not be hungry for a whole waffle. I
yeah,
might have already eaten too many. And I'm like, oh, this is just too much. But with a pancake, you go, I can just get silver dollar pancakes.
yeah. So, I don't know. With pancakes, like, you can't put them in a cool shape, you know? Like, you can get these little
You
molds.
oh I am sorry. Did my ears deceive me?
They didn't.
You
Let me,
can't make pancakes into cool things?
yeah, can you make it into the state of Texas? No,
Absolutely you can. Have you not
no,
seen pancake art?
no.
You get different colored batter and you get like a little
Okay, okay.
bottle and squeeze it out into
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
can make freaking Yoshi as a pancake, dude.
Yoshi?
You can make the coolest things with pancakes.
I,
You put you with the waffle. You just put it in a freaking waffle iron and just it's a freaking waffle. With a pancake, you can do anything.
but I think those type of things promote selfishness. So,
What do
for example,
you mean?
bro, so, my coworker, okay,
I'm getting heated over this for no reason.
now this is an argument, okay. My coworker the other day, we were cooking pancakes for our students, and his wife comes out and she has like a, that little Grogu guy, that little baby Yoda character.
Yes,
She,
the lovable
like
baby Yoda.
the stormtrooper, and she had these little pancake molds, and she was going to use them. But my coworker said, "Don't use those. Those are my molds." Sounded just like that, and
Oh man.
so we didn't make special pancakes for the students because he was so selfish and didn't want his molds used. And I think it just
See, but
promotes.
that's the thing. He was selfish. The
Uh huh.
pancake artists are not selfish that you see on YouTube. Well, I mean,
Do you see them
I guess you might
donating
be able
those
to.
pancake arts to anything?
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can learn how to do that yourself.
Or I could just plop it in the waffle iron and just let it be. Hey, last thing,
Hmm.
Belgium waffles. Belgium like has nothing going for it as a country. No offense, Belgium. Like,
They do have one of the best rated soccer players currently.
hey, way to
In
go, Belgium! You have two things
yeah,
now: Belgium
in Kevin De
waffles.
Bruyne.
Kevin De
Yes,
Bruyne.
Kevin De
Okay,
Bruyne.
okay.
Bruyne. I don't know. His name's Kevin. He's a ginger, and he's freaking killing it.
Well, good for him.
Gingers rise up.
So now they have waffles as well.
Mm. Well, you can make art. You can make literal art with
Yes,
pancakes.
I can
I
have.
think that proves it's superior.
Matthew, here's the thing: is it really true art if it can be eaten?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
How
Art
do you define
made
art? What is art?
art art is made to be admired, to be created and admired for a long, long time. And with pancakes,
It doesn't have to be a
you
long
know,
time.
well, longer than crunch, 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 munch, munch, munch. Yeah, no.
There's plenty of good art out there from unknown people that, they post their amazing art to like Instagram or something and it gets like 5 likes. And it's
I,
like some of the coolest stuff you've ever seen. That art is not going appreciated though.
the fact that you can't accept that this is the best, waffles are the best, then I'm done with you. I'm done. It
I
is,
can't accept it. You can't accept the fact that you can make awesome art with pancakes and it just be the coolest thing ever.
yeah, no. I, we got to wrap this up. We got to wrap this up.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in you as well.
Well, you know what? On this disappointment, we should go ahead and cue the music. Well, folks, that's all we have the time for this week. We've both got to skedaddle into our normal things that we do. Nathan's got to go get to work, and I've got to read for my classes.
Yeah. And folks, I'm sorry for getting so heated. I'm sorry for Matthew getting so heated. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I think this is maybe the most important arguments we've had, Matthew. I think.
Maybe, yeah. And the thing is, we did miss the whole thing of bacon and sausage, and so just to make sure we never miss an argument again, if you have an idea for an argument you want to get to us, let us know. And you can send an email to us at absurdargumentsforyou@gmail.com. And that is absurdarguments, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com.
And you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We have pages there, and we'd love to hear from y'all and share your encouragements. But we have weak egos, and so if you have critiques, please make sure you start a critique with something like, love the podcast, y'all are the best, but here's one suggestion. And make sure it's very mild so that our egos are not crushed. We'd appreciate it.
Start it off very mild and then make it scathing. The
No,
more
no.
the more we read, the more we're just like, oh my gosh.
Matthew, no. No scathing, please. If you have a critique, like that one guy who emailed a couple weeks ago or whatever.
Oh yes, listener Tim.
Yes. You can insult Matthew as much as you want, but I'm very fragile, and so I only want compliments, please.
Yes, that is a call going out to everyone to bully Nathan. Now,
No.
Nathan, do you have any ending thoughts to our wonderful discussion?
People, eat your breakfast. If you're into weird breakfast stuff, that's fine, but you just eat it. Now.
Yep.
Eat it now.
If it's in the morning, if it's well, you can eat it breakfast anytime.
No, they can have dinner now. They can have breakfast for dinner. It's fine. I'll allow it.
That's true. Well, that's all we have for this week's folks. So, as always, we will see you later.
Bye-bye.